fam, welcome back to a very special hobby hang. It is Sunday, it is me, Meg, and we're hanging out with Devin.
Woo woo!
Yes, we haven't seen Devin in a while. It's so nice to have you back.
I know, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. That's going to be great.
Like the best teacher out of all of us, so it's always so nice when you're here because I'm like, I'm going to learn something today.
Yeah,
I'm just going to fuck around like we usually do.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and sub. Do that.
Hit those buttons.
It costs you nothing and it helps us, so like just do it. We also have a poll, like all of our polls, it's very important, so don't forget to vote. It changed in the last minute. That's how important it is.
Yeah. Well, we gotta hit the facts. We need to know what the people want.
Yeah. Devin, what are we doing today?
We're gonna do like an introduction to texture, and that's a really, really big kind of broad topic.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of focus a little bit on smooth texture right now. So we're gonna do freehanding fur. Kind of a scary thing, but I'm going to hopefully demystify it a little bit, kind of give you some best practices, and then we'll kind of end it off with kind of rough, beaten metal / leather kind of texture. That way we can kind of unleash our, our inner angst and anger and just start smashing at the model and everything like that. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. It's funny how you use leather and metal interchangeably. I've never thought of those two metals or two textures as being
absolutely. I mean, they both get like weathered and worn and beaten and stuff. And it just comes down to color, like color choices and the different types of filters that we're going to put onto it to make it look like it's a leather cape or a leather satchel or whatever. And then in regards to the metallics and stuff, we're actually going to focus a lot more on like painted metal, and then we'll slightly put in some metallics afterwards, kind of a reverse weathering method and stuff. But yeah, very, very similar. We'll throw lots of filters. We're going to be playing around with inks and we're going to have a good time.
Okay. Yay, I'm so excited. Oh, thanks, Zach. Yeah, guys, don't forget to use your free super chats. Zach, Devin, do you want to get lunch afterwards?
Ooh. Yes.
Okay, great. We're going to go to lunch. Guys, we also have a goal for the stream. Devin has not been initiated. He hasn't tried these horrible things. So if we hit 5 super chats, doesn't matter. I think it's like $2.
I've been roped into this.
He's going to try these,
Yeah, I'm going to try them.
Yeah, it's a very special day. Okay, Devin, before we jump into your actual tutorial, let's talk about the news. We're going to do the news early today.
Perfect.
Because a lot of the news, has to do with Devin. So we're going to kick it off with what's going on in Devin's life.
Oh, no.
As it relates to hobby.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, you can get as deep as you want.
Yeah.
But coming up in May, this is May 3rd and 4th. Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Is Maelstrom Mixer.
Maelstrom Mixer.
We're sponsoring this, and Devin is teaching a couple of hobby classes. Yeah. Devin, you want to talk about them? I'm going to paste the link in chat for you guys if you guys want to check out the classes. Yeah, so
last year I went to the Maelstrom Mixer kind of like as a bit of a hobby kind of guide there. And so, when Meg approached me about sponsoring some classes, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is going to be awesome. So the first couple of classes that I'm going to be doing, very, very simple, very basic. The first one is going to be about power swords, right? Because this is a 40K specific event, and, everybody wants that general's or that commander's power sword to really, what I call, swing, trademark. And so we're going to kind of basically improve our power swords, make them swing a little bit, and then a little bit of battle damage. Because a lot of times we see a lot of these big armies and stuff, and everything is a little too clean, a little too pristine.
And
I know, they're fighting, exactly. So I want to kind of demystify that a little bit. So it's going to be fairly reminiscent to like what we talked about the first time I was here with the weathering and stuff like that. But a few little tweaks and shifts that I've done over the time that I've taught some classes. Cool. And the power sword classes will be on Friday.
Yep.
And then because at the very end of the day, Saturday, everyone's going to be so exhausted from all that gaming, we're going to do some battle damage, which is just going to be a lot of just smashing paint around and playing around with a new medium with enamels and oils and stuff like that. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be super fun. It'll be nice to have something for people to do after the event, like together or like after the day, because a lot of times people just bounce.
Right.
Do their own thing.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be there both Saturday and Sunday to just kind of hobby for a few hours, and then I'm also going to be helping judging the painting competition and stuff like that. So sign up for this guy's class. Yeah, bribes are accepted.
Come and hang out at Maelstrom Mixer with us. Oops, I went the wrong way. That's the wrong way, Meg. Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
You teach all the time at Fremont.
I'm trying to get into it a lot more about practicing that because while I think I'm pretty good at painting, I need to get better at teaching all the time. I just recently taught an airbrush kind of beginner basics class, and it was really, really successful. I've had a few little bit of interest of more people wanting to learn a little bit more about it, and so I'm thinking I might do another one of those. Maybe we host one here. And I kind of have this little bit of a curriculum that I'm wanting to go with, kind of like a 101, 102, or however the class goes. It's been forever since I've been in school.
That would be a really great mandrels class.
Nice.
Actually. You guys, let us know if you're a mandrel. If you're not a mandrel and you want to become a mandrel and try some of these workshops out that are offered in our Discord once a month, let us know what topics you're interested in. I think an airbrush class would be really nice.
Yeah, and so for this one and this...
hesitant. Even I am like, I'll take a beginner's airbrush class
Well,
again.
this one was, I think for the first hour, was literally a slideshow of talking about, this is what this is called, this is what this is called. So it is a very, very basic, but it's got very, very good information that a lot of people just don't even cover and don't even know. Had a few people just kind of having those little aha moments where they're like, that's what that is? It's like, yes, that's exactly what that is. That's exactly how we're going to be able to adjust here or adjust there and stuff. And it was very successful.
Cool.
I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
So.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, so follow me for more classes in person in the Bay Area.
Yes, please. And then Adepticon, which is actually coming up next.
Yeah.
I should have had this first.
That's in 2 weeks. That's
soon.
Kind of wild.
Yeah. So what are you doing at Adepticon? Because we do have a link for that too.
I'm taking a couple classes.
Nice.
But actually, the big highlight thing, I'm not teaching there this year, at least not yet. I'm hoping for, fingers crossed, for next year. But I actually had a really good friend of mine kind of tap me on the shoulder to ask me to be one of their featured artists for the new Ionic paint line. So Saturday from 4 to 6, I'm going to be doing like a little versus battle against Lila. She has a YouTube channel and stuff, and we're just going to kind of basically sample the new paint range and a new model line, but that hasn't yet to be announced and stuff, which is really exciting. And we'll just come by and harass me for a little bit, basically.
Yeah. Is anybody going to Adepticon? Let us know in chat. Make sure you say hi to Devin.
Yeah. I'm mostly going to be hanging around the painting areas, the Golden Demon booth and things like that, just because that's just my little world. Oh,
yeah, Golden Demon. I always forget that's at Adepticon.
It is.
Nerd.
And I'm freaking out because I'm not finished yet.
Yeah. What are you submitting? Is it something we've seen already? Or?
So, no, actually. Two things. Well, you may have seen it at LVO, so I'm submitting an AOS squad. Hey, super chat. I know. I'm submitting an AOS squad. It's with the little snow and the dogs and stuff like that.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
And then I'm also submitting a small scale tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the one you brought with you today.
It is the one.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll show that off.
Yeah, we'll show it off.
Okay. Great. I'm so excited. All right. Cool. That's like the news. Devin's busy. Devin's a real hobbyist. He's not a fake.
More at 11.
And then in Discord news, we didn't have a lot of memes this week, which was fine. Because we got to talk about Devin.
Step it up.
We have this one, though. This from Soups.
I love this.
I know what it's supposed to say, but, what letters are they really
Well,
making?
I mean, the first one is definitely a Y.
First one's a Y. Although we all call it a T-pose, because he...
Yeah. But, I mean, you could say it's a little bit more of a Y or whatever.
Yeah. What the
I
hell
can
is
see
Ushan?
there's kind of like an M, but really it just falls off afterwards. It's fun to stay at the YM, and then it just goes afterwards.
Nice, yeah.
I love it, though. It's great.
It's great. Yeah. I've been working on Lumineth.
Yes, I've been watching.
Okay, yeah. And Techless. This is that's Techless. I don't know how familiar you are with AOS. You're probably way more, I don't know.
I'm more familiar than what you probably think, but...
I'm you're probably more familiar than I am.
No,
I don't
definitely
know what
not.
anything's called.
I know that's Techless.
Yeah, that's
I know
Techless.
that is Grave Guy.
Great.
That is Snot Boy.
Okay,
I don't...
Who's last? I actually don't know
Vampire
who the last
Witch.
one is. Yeah.
Vampire
Some
Witch.
sort of,
yeah.
Some sort of she...
The naming conventions that GW does is just insane.
Well, I know the other two. I don't know. I don't know the. What is the damn? I can't even think of the freaking army now. Daughters of Cain. I don't know what model
Snake
that
Ladies,
is.
Right?
Yeah, Slaughter Queen. Thanks,
Slaughter
Willow.
Queen.
I don't know.
Well, you can't spell slaughter without laughter, and she looks like she's having a good time.
Yeah, she's happy. But I do know Usharan, and I do know the Great Unclean One.
Oh yeah, the Great Unclean One with the bell and the sword and stuff like that. Yeah.
So anyway, I bitch about Techless all the time because I just think it's a stupid looking model. And so here you go.
And get your painting and your suffering
Yeah.
for the art.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna really quickly. We gotta catch up on some super chats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't tell me we're already at 5.
No, we're not at 5.
right.
We're at 0 still.
Cool.
So we talked about Zach's. Chris, wow, 15 months. It's been 15 months. Like
For the channel?
Chris, no, it's been longer than that. But like, I knew Chris wasn't here from the very, very start. So I'm like, dang, I can't believe Chris has been here 15 months. Like, it's been a long time. Wow, 15 months.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
for putting up with me for so long. Chris, same to you. Thanks for putting up with us. I really think it's more the other way. I don't know how you guys
Putting
can
up. You guys are awesome.
stand it.
You guys are awesome.
Willow became a lab rat. Yay, Willow. Thank you for the party lights. Happy to have you. Love you. Soups, 19 months already. It's been 19 months. It's been almost 2 years. Our 2-year birthdays.
That's crazy. Everyone's
June.
just trying to one-up each other. All right, can I get 20? Can I get 20?
Yeah, who's next? Yeah. Great to see you back on, Devin. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the shoulder cam. Let's get to work.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
We're starting on fur, right?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Here's to
There we go.
Devin eating candy. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.
Thank you.
We're excited
With the
about it.
reactions that you guys gave that last time,
John.
I'm quite excited about
I
it.
know, it's so good.
Okay. So, we're going to talk a little bit about fur. I wonder. Yeah, you wouldn't mind
Yeah.
focusing that for
Be
me?
the camera girl.
So here is a fun little class model. It's a Worgen from World of Warcraft. That's about as familiar as I am with World of Warcraft. We're going to focus on the actual fur part. The nice thing about fur is it's completely monotonous and very repetitive. But you can get some very, very fantastic results. And so what we're going to kind of do, we're going to paint some ponies. And the kind of core concept with this whole thing is we want to try to follow like the musculature, and we want to follow the general lighting practices and stuff. And the most important thing is what we don't want to do with our brush is we don't want to, let me position it this way, we do not want the same stroke every single time because that
Okay.
starts looking manufactured.
Yeah.
That starts looking a little too symmetrical. So what we're wanting for the first bit that we're going to do is we're just kind of get in there and we're just going to get some basic shapes.
Okay.
And then we'll slowly sharpen up and refine, and we're actually going to want to kind of make little wiggles here and there. Like I'm over exaggerating it for the camera, but you can kind of
Right.
see how I'm kind of wiggling it around because, you know, fur and hair has a little bit of wiggle
It
and stuff.
does.
It's got a lot of volume and stuff like that, especially if you're using Tresemme or whatever.
Like this werewolf.
Yeah.
Clearly.
He's definitely got a very nice shoulder mane there. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring like a little example right here of what we can kind of see going from base coat
Yeah.
to fur coat.
Yeah. And it looks really nice with the purple undertone.
Yeah.
Like, I love that, like starting with a color you wouldn't expect. Yeah, to just set that tone. It's nice. But-
Especially when you're painting something neutral, like a white, a gray, a
Yeah.
brown, it makes things just a little bit more interesting to
Yeah.
do. And I contemplated going back and forth between turquoise and purple because those are like my jam. And I went with the safe bet and went with purple instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, and basically all of this is just, I have a little bit of purple kind of snuck in there the entire time. But that's kind of what we're looking at.
Okay.
And then, like I said, afterwards, we're going to focus on just beating the hell out of something and just getting some rough texture and stuff. So, what we want,
Without further ado,
we want to
and
paint
stuff.
some nightmare horses.
Yeah, I started these unicorns like, I don't know, forever ago, and just never really got back to them. I figured they're good for a future tutorial.
Absolutely.
And here we go. We're gonna
And
do
horses
some
have
short fur. Yeah.
Yeah, horses have fur. Now, horses are a little different than other creatures because their hair is a lot shorter.
Super short. Yeah.
So we do want to have nice short strokes. But what we're going to do is we're going to just mix up some colors. So this is kind of like a brownish purple we got going on. And all I want you to do is maybe we'll attack the flanks because
Okay.
it's a nice round badonkadonk that we can kind of understand.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to move it around. If you look in the camera right here, you can see the shine and the sheen, and you can see the definition of the muscles and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We want to keep that in mind the entire time that we're doing this.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of brown, some of this purpley, almost lilac, and then
Yeah.
some blue.
These are all bear cavalry paints, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Guys, these are bear cavalry paints.
Yeah, I'm trying them out for the first time. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of mixing all of them together. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of a nice dark brown in here as well, just so we can kind of obey those shadows a little bit.
Do we want to show on camera at all the mixing, or is it is it pretty all right?
It's a pretty gross color. Yeah. You're gonna love it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm making up this color. I'm gonna sneak in a little bit more of a darker brown, and we're just gonna kind of keep mixing up this kind of base tone. Right now, I'm trying to color match a little bit, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. But you know, if you're just starting, nothing wrong with just doing a quick base coat of something nice and deep and interesting.
So my unicorn is white, like that's where I left it off.
Yeah.
What do you recommend I start with?
So I'd probably start, because you have some nice little purple tones in there. Yeah. I'd probably start with a touch of this kind of lilac-y purple, and then probably a deeper gray. Maybe this gray, or maybe this medium sea gray, and just kind of give like a little bit of a mix. It's going to be darker than what we're currently at right now, but we're going to build upon it. And that way we have some room to move up. Yeah. Yeah, the most important thing about all this is that we have room to maneuver up and down the colors. So I'm actually not going to use my nice sharp brush here. I'm going to use, it's still a sharper brush, but it's not as high quality. Yeah. And I'm using that on purpose so that I can kind of illustrate this.
You can just get messy.
Yeah, exactly, because we're gonna start big, okay? So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna paint that butt. And I'm gonna look at this, and I'm going to paint with the direction of the musculature. And all I'm doing is I'm laying down a bit of a foundation. I need to sneak a little bit more purple in there because it's too dark, but that's okay. We're gonna Bob Ross this. Sneak a little bit more in there. And if you notice on camera, I'm being very, very big, very, very broad. But the main thing is that I'm doing is I'm not re-base coating this. I'm just adding little lines, and I might even do little swoop-de-doos and things like that.
Little swoop-de-doos.
Yeah, that's the technical term.
Very technical.
Yeah. I have an art degree. All right, so that's kind of all we're doing. And we're essentially going to, we want to leave a little bit of that darker area, that kind of shadowed area, if you will. Okay. Because that starts giving the impression of fur, okay? Yeah. If everything is highlighted, nothing is highlighted. You've just created a new kind of middle tone. Let me see that color. So I might actually, because we're starting so bright, maybe mix a little bit of this sky gray in there as well.
I'm too dark.
Yeah. Okay. If you were just starting the horse, that might be a good kind of tone to go for. But yeah, it's pretty messy. No craziness here. But where it starts to really kind of work, man, this paint is thick.
Okay, I'm glad to get your thoughts on this paint because I don't pay attention as much when I'm painting. I'm just like, it's paint. And this is the first time I've had to really pay attention because I want to give a good, fair review of it. Right. So I also noticed, I was like, it's dry. It's either like dry or thick. I'm not sure.
It's thick.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of.
Makes it feel dry.
Yes, it's got a lot of body to it. So if you notice when you, if on something that's heavier like that, the more you pull it around on your palette, the thinner it's going to be, and it's going to dry that much easier. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea. I took a little bit of this kind of warm pale gray. I don't, what color was it? Rock gray. And I'm just mixing up another little thing, and I'm going to, I'll show you. Yeah. Boom. I mixed up another little thing, and I'm just going to kind of sneak it on in there. All right, I kind of like that tone. And we're going to kind of do the same thing. However, I'm using my nicer brush. And again, I will attack the booty. So what we want is a nice sharp tip, okay? Now, what we don't want to do to get these fine lines is paint how we normally paint. Let me see if I can illustrate this here. We normally paint, I'm doing it pretty extreme, but we paint less perpendicular to the model. And that's fine because we get these nice big strokes. Oh, okay. See that? That's okay. But when we're trying to get texture, we want to paint very perpendicular to the model. So if I have this, I'll illustrate it on camera. Yeah. This is flat. We want to be painting like this, not like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Almost straight up and down.
Correct. So the more focused we get on these nice lines, we want to bring our brush from this angle more towards a perpendicular angle, which means we're going to need to kind of focus on areas at a time.
Okay.
So I am going to take this and I'm going to make these nice long strokes. Hopefully you guys can see. Let's put that there. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm doing nice long fur texture here to go along with the previous layer that we just did. And I am intentionally keeping some of that previous layer visible.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to give that kind of depth, that body of hair. It's going to have a luscious flank. And all we're doing is I'm going to switch up. If you notice very quickly, I'm making almost little S's or little X's. Mm-hmm. All we're doing is we're creating a little bit of visual noise. Okay. Because the fur, while it's all going to obey the very, very, the musculature and very, very similar kind of pattern and stuff, what happens if you rubbed up against a little tree? Or, decided, well, this guy probably butt up against someone and then skewered him.
Someone, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And already we can kind of see that fur texture kind of building. Now, this looks too long.
It's still very loose, yeah.
Yeah. It's very loose. It's still a little too long for a horse, though.
Sure.
Now, with the werewolf, we want that long fur because dogs and wolves have a variety of different types of fur. Let's check in. Okay, sweet.
Just starting.
Exactly.
I hope I didn't start too dark.
No, get your more of a point. Get your brush to more of a point.
I'm really bad at this.
That's okay. So one of the things that
I usually give up on my brush super early.
let's use this as a learning example.
Tell me how to take care of my brushes.
All right. So first things first, we always want to start with a nice hydrated brush, which means putting it in some water first thing and foremost, right? When we are grabbing our paint, I don't want to see you doing this and getting just the tip. I know that's the thing here.
It's a thing.
But we do want to sweep it like this.
Okay.
And then rotate so that we can keep that twist, and we're loading the brush more.
Yeah.
Right? Now it comes down to pressure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to get it in the ferrule, which is why I don't
Check it out. I'll show you right now. Look at this. My nice brand new brush. I got it. Oh, it's in the ferrule. Oh my gosh.
Guess what? You can get rid of it.
I can get rid of it very easily. I'm also pretty good about just making sure I rinse frequently and that I also shampoo it. Have fun.
Okay.
One of the things that I talked about in my airbrush class, which was awesome, hit me up on Instagram or on Discord if you're interested.
Yeah, his Instagram handle is in your YouTube handle is actually in our...
I don't have a YouTube.
You don't?
No.
Do you not? Oh, okay.
No,
then
no.
It's someone else. Let me get rid of him. I was like, oh, it's brush adept. Okay.
But don't respect your tools.
Yeah.
But not at the expense of your enjoyment and at the expense of your fun. So while I don't want to see you buying a $45 brush and then smashing it into oblivion, they're meant to be used, right? These brushes are not going to last forever. They're going to, they do have a bit of an end date, an expiration date. So have fun with them. If you get it in the ferrule, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's okay. So one of the things that I will demonstrate on camera what I am doing pretty frequently.
Leave me alone, tactile son.
The new paper is too clean? You got it.
Everyone's really excited about this new paper. Zach's always whining about the... Oh, Zach, look what happened. Zach.
There we go. All right. Hey, it's not a successful hobby night if I don't have paint on my hands.
There you go.
So one of the things, I'll kind of illustrate what I'm doing here. So I'm going to load up with my next brighter layer of paint, right? So I've got it nice and loaded up. I am keeping these strokes a little bit tighter. I'm still kind of giving it a little bit of wave, a little bit of swoop-de-doo and body, but as I'm paying attention to these strokes, if it start getting to the point where it's a little too hard for me to put a layer down, I'll actually come over here. I have a little wet spot on this towel, and I will just very lightly rotate it like this on the towel so that I can keep my point, and I'll reintroduce a little bit of hydration here.
Okay, so you're saying it gets like too hard if it gets too hard to put down paint because it's like drying out.
It's drying out, you don't have enough moisture, you don't have enough paint, whatever it might be, or even if you push too hard and now the actual paintbrush is starting to split a little bit.
Yeah.
Just go over, roll it on your thumb, roll it on a towel, doesn't matter. Either way. And that way we're, setting ourselves up for success, because nobody wants to sit here and just fight our tools. But now what I'm doing is I'm being very, very focused in these areas. I'm going to leave all of this shadowed area right here. I might come in here. Now I'm going to take slow paint strokes so that we can see. Let's get this reflection out of the way. There we go.
I know.
I'm going to paint just like this, and I might extend a little bit into those shadowed areas because the fur is going to be varied. But I'm going to overall keep that darker area so that we can have that shape and that definition. But having a little bit of it spill over like that in here it's a good thing.
It makes it look more natural.
Exactly. We look at people who do really, really high-end fur and high-end hair and stuff. We have both chaos and uniformity. The uniformity being of, hey, this is how the light is laying, this is how the texture is laying, this is where the fur or the hair or whatever is kind of falling. But then the chaos is, well, what if there's a little bit of wind? What if there's a little bit of,
Life.
Life, exactly, because life finds a way.
Yeah, it does.
Name that movie.
It's too easy. Pet Cemetery.
All right, so let's see.
I haven't started that part yet.
That's okay. All right, so we've got a good kind of foundation going. So from here on out, I just want your paint strokes to be just more controlled, and we're thinking a lot about where we're putting things.
Okay.
Okay. We started loosey-goosey to kind of unlock and get our creative juices flowing. But once we're flowing, we want to start really paying attention and looking at stuff. Here's the best part of this whole thing too. If it starts, like this is starting to get a little almost white by comparison on my horse. If it's starting to look a little too different or desaturated or whatever that you're not wanting, well, remember what we did with our painting tactical rocks? We smashed a bunch of color in and then we did like some secret sauce, right? We can do something very, very similar. I brought a bunch of inks so that we can kind of play around with that as well. And what we do is we just shift the color overall to whatever the heck we want. If we want it to be a more purple sheen, we'll mix in a little bit of purple ink. And the reason why I like to use inks or even contrast or speed paints is because they're transparent by nature. So you're already like setting yourself up for success. So this is a basic understanding of fur, and you can take this with fur, with hair, I mean, even metallics as well. So if for example, you're doing like a non-metallic or even a true metallic, you can put in those little like kind of brushed looking patterns and stuff like that. That can give you a different texture, give you a different look, give you a different life and vibe. However, anything that is metallic is typically manufactured. So the thing that we're doing here, where we're kind of keeping the strokes kind of wild and varied, we want to keep it very, very tight and very, very uniform, which is why I usually say this is the way to start, even though it seems harder, because it allows you to be a little bit looser. It allows you to just play.
And then add the ink later.
Yeah, if you so want, right?
That's nice.
And we don't have to put the ink everywhere. We can, if we wanted to darken up some of these shadows, we can very lightly glaze in those inks into those shadows.
Right.
So I'm just...
Is this how you did your dogs?
Yep. And Games Workshop, man, Sculpt your dogs better.
What? Yeah, tell me about it.
They're potatoes.
Okay.
Like, these dogs are ugly. So it was a bit of a challenge to make them look like actual dogs. So this is kind of how I started. I got a reference photo. I wanted two of them to be Mastiffs.
Yeah.
And one of them to be like a blue-nosed pit, because I love pitties. They're some of my favorites.
They're cute.
And what I did is I blocked in my colors. I know that the pitty is going to kind of be this bluish, blackish gray. That was what the color was. I put in that little chest, like little white splotches and stuff like that. And, put little socks on his little feet and stuff. And then kind of got an idea of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Just from a 10-minute base coat. Then from there, I go, okay, cool. This is the overarching color that I'm wanting. Let's then start adding in all this little texture. So my first layer is very, very big, very, very just bold, and just kind of getting the idea, because I don't have a whole lot of time to paint anymore, right? With work and life and things like that. So I try to make sure that when I am painting, I am painting, I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck, right?
Yeah.
So I take that 10 minutes to just kind of see, hey, is this something I'm going to like? If I don't like it, cool. I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I hate getting down that rabbit hole of like, oh, I've painted this like crazy and I've spent hours on it and now I'm trying to polish a freaking turd.
Yes.
We've all been there. That's why I say, we're just going to kind of make it real quick, real easy, maybe even quick and dirty, as I like to say. And
as all of your classes are titled.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
I want it to be really approachable. But,
right.
So check it out.
Oh,
Got a nice variety of texture and fur, and I can take this to the ends of the earth if I wanted to. Let's get a status update on you.
Okay, here you go.
Put this here.
Take a look.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, it's hard to see.
Very,
it's
very
so
hard
bright.
to see.
Here, let me get the camera going again. Yeah, because I brightened it for yours.
Yeah, that's okay. But we've got a basic understanding here, which is good.
How's that?
Yeah, so...
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. So the only thing I would say is,
Please.
I'm not sure why you stopped here and why you didn't put it all up and down the flanks, but whatever.
I'll just keep going. I can add more.
Yeah. So now what I want you to do is, as you're brightening up those areas, like right in here, like in these higher raised areas.
Yeah.
Just smaller areas. So in the area where like this top part of like the hip bone right there, that's going to get a little bit of a brighter area because it's going to catch more light.
Right.
But your strokes are no longer going to be like this, and they're probably going to be more like this.
Yeah, little itty bitties.
Little itty bitties, and don't be afraid to make little S's.
Okay.
To represent the fur. That's a lot of fun to do. So one little practice, actually let me get something darker so you can see. One little practice that I like to tell people about is you can put it on your finger, you can put it on a card, another model, doesn't matter. But, right, instead of just doing these sharp manufactured lines, that looks cool for something that's metal maybe.
Yeah.
But it starts to look a little off for something organic. So let's pull away from the brush. So I'm painting right here. I will actually paint a little further back from the ferrule because I naturally have less control, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to exaggerate it, but you see I'm painting these little S's.
Right.
All right, and so I'm just getting all wibbly wobbly, getting some swoop-de-doos, and that looks better. And then you can absolutely come in there and then put some sharp lines in there throughout, right? So those are some little quick little things that you can kind of implement to make it look a little bit more natural, a little bit more organic.
I love, you're like, I don't know why you didn't go over the whole flank. I don't know, sorry teacher.
It's okay.
I was rushing. Let me do that too. I was avoiding this tail. I was like, I don't want to deal with that today.
Hey, we can always reverse it, it's fine.
So lazy.
Turd polishing stream. How to fix various... That's a good idea. Thanks, Molecule.
Ooh.
How to fix various mistakes.
That is a good idea. That's a good mandrel class idea.
That's a
too,
fantastic idea.
A good hobby topic.
You got my noggin going.
I screwed up the goal for today. We're at 2 super chats now. We need 3 more, and then Devin gets to try the nasty candy. I think I put like 30 minutes instead of 2 hours because I was in a rush.
You gotta go fast.
I was like I knew I'd mess something up. I usually do. Today is no different just because you're here, Devin.
That's okay. But this is essentially fur.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just layers of lines.
It is layers of lines, but the biggest part, I don't know how much you've watched Bob Ross. I have Bob Ross going all the freaking time.
All the time. Okay. Okay.
Well, I have like those Samsung TVs where they have like a free channel thing. And when I first unboxed a TV 5 years ago, it was on the Bob Ross channel, and it's never changed. So unless I'm watching Netflix or something.
Devin is always watching Bob Ross.
100%.
That's amazing.
One of the things that he says that I absolutely love, I love the way he instructs, is we want depth. Mm-hmm. He's really famous for doing those scenes where you've got like a hyper background, a mid-level background, a foreground background, and then you've got a mid-ground and then a foreground and then even a closer foreground. It's amazing. It's got a really good scope of view. We want to incorporate that in this as well. We want the dark in here because while the light and our highlighting is going to illustrate like, hey, this is where the sun's coming from. The shadows and those dark mid-tone areas, that's where all the cool kids hang. Mm-hmm. That's where all the information
That's where
is.
like the definition
lies.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, especially on a horse that's like white. Like,
right. If everything is white, guess what? Nothing is defined, right? So that's why I was saying we want to start...
Like, I don't know why you didn't cover the whole flank.
Gets lonely.
I am gonna... This is your Instagram link that I'm posting in chat one more time for Adepticon, just to make sure people know.
Yeah.
To go check out your Instagram.
Come and harass me and cheer me on. I don't really know what the versus thing is going to be.
Okay.
I just know that we're going to be painting
it's a versus.
Competitively, and all I know is I'm going to win.
Of course. I'm going to let this dry for a second. Devin.
Yes.
We always do something silly.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less.
I'm going to let this dry while I get to that silly thing. So while you're painting, we do have a quiz for you. We don't do quizzes very often. Quizzes are fun for like...
I haven't been in school in 10 years, so let's bring it on.
That we want to torture. So we'll do that. We're talking texture today.
This is unfair.
So we're doing more zoom ins on today's quiz. But all of the options are either leather, metal, or fur.
So I think
the kinkiest of all textures.
Yeah. I think there's a second thing in here is the part, B to this. What texture is this? Is what camera was it taken on? I think it's a 2002 Nokia.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, holy cow.
I mean, you guys can also guess like what it is in the picture if you want for bonus points. But Devin just needs to tell us what the texture is because he's a professional at texture.
I'm a professional idiot.
So we'll do that. You can paint or not. But,
I think it's probably metal.
Yeah.
I think it's probably metal because there's all that little bit of that shimmy, shammy, shiny stuff. That's probably what I'm thinking it is. But you might zoom out and it's probably a mountain range somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
this guy remembers.
Who knows?
Any guesses as to what it actually is before I flip? You don't have to.
I think it's a real thing of metal. Maybe it's fool's gold because you're calling me a fool.
Okay. Well, it is metal.
Hey, what the? It's an old Ford.
1994 Ford Tempo, right, Zach?
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, that's like the car of
car.
the channel, I guess.
Where is this zoomed in from?
Oh, the
Is it
hood.
the bumper? Oh my gosh.
The reflection of the trees.
Oh, that. Yeah, I almost said leather because of all of those little bumps and stuff like that.
Yeah. No,
Tricky,
leather
tricky.
metal's very reflective, Devin.
Yeah.
Do you paint reflection in your metal?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try.
Yeah.
Does it succeed? Not all the time.
Not always.
But I always try to put a little bit of ambience in there of like smuggling some colors in there because I think those are the most fun.
Yeah.
I'm not at that level where I can paint a whole tree forest thing into
I'm
like the dude's shield.
Like, I know, like when people do chrome and like there's like a whole scene that's reflected. I'm like,
it's
what?
nuts. I like it. I respect it. I don't ever want to do it. I don't ever want to do that.
Probably won't ever do chrome either. Yeah.
Too crazy.
Okay. Next.
Well, that's obviously fur because of the switchy swatchies.
Yeah, you
right?
can see them.
Little
We just
schwingadoos.
learned about these.
Yeah. It's definitely fur.
It's definitely fur. It's definitely a North American pine marten. Another
I thought it was a red panda.
channel favorite.
It's a marten?
That's a marten.
I love it.
That's our little
Dang, those
martens.
claws.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach's obsessed with these, and I actually don't know why. They kind of just remind me of Zach.
What do you mean you don't know why? Look at them.
Well, it's
They're
cute.
adorable.
It is cute.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of my pup. I have a Shiba. It's kind of got a similar kind of
Yeah.
a face and stuff like that. So.
Shibas are cute.
Yeah. All right, 2 for 2.
Okay.
That never happens. That's an elephant. That's an elephant, so that's not fair. It is both fur and leather, but it's not really leather, it's animal skin.
I love that you guessed that because you're like 100% right. Except it's not an elephant; it's an ugly dog.
Ooh, that looked like an elephant, though.
It's so gross. I was like, oh, I should do something dog related.
Wow.
Because everyone thinks I hate.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. It's his neck. It just made dogs look horrific.
I went to Thailand in 2023, and that's exactly what an elephant looks like. From that zoomed in, got to pet them and everything. Like, oh my gosh!
Look at all the comments. I know everyone's like, "What is that?" Here's the dick pic. This is Fabius Biles' cape.
Oh yeah,
overly tanned
for
woman.
sure.
Then Chris comes in with "All dogs are beautiful." All those things were okay to say until it was a dog.
Yeah,
Of course.
right. I like the
Of
overly
course.
tanned woman in Vegas at a
Yeah.
slot machine because that's hyper specific,
Yes.
and everyone knows exactly what
I'm
you're
like,
pitching.
You know what? I know what you're talking
Probably
about.
with bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
So much Botox to the point where like everything else is wrinkly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Whew.
So I don't hate dogs, but I'm just saying this is an ugly dog.
No, it's probably got a lot of personality.
Yes, yes.
It's like, ugh,
A little bit.
that's gross.
Okay, what is this?
Ooh. It looks like the bottom of the ocean.
The bottom of the ocean. Yeah, I guess it could just be a dark room.
I'm going to say leather because I have no other information other than this tiny little area to go from. So I'm going to say leather.
It is. It's leather.
Oh.
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 Yeah.
Kinky.
Definitely leather.
Oh, look at that. We got leather, we got metal, and I'm sure the bottom part of that silk right there's fur. All the kinky materials.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, kinky textures.
Exactly.
I feel like you did say that before.
I did.
I definitely in one ear out the
I read
other.
it. But yeah. No, it said it. Listen, when I was searching on Envato for leather, this came up.
So naturally,
Leather toys.
Yeah.
So it's leather.
Okay. All right. Naturally, we're going to
Envato
include
wouldn't
that.
lie.
Yeah. There we go.
These are not mine. This is Envato's. Get out of here. All right. I don't care. What's this?
Interesting. So I wanted to say leather because of the stitching, but the stitching looks too precise. Huh.
Could be anything.
It could be anything. You
Anything
could be
at
also
all.
throwing a curveball.
Could be fur.
Yeah, it could be an elephant for all I know. My instinct says leather, but I'm gonna say metal.
Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if this was metal, like what kind of metal is this?
I think
It
it's
looks
like,
like it's screwing in, right?
yeah.
Like,
Well, it looks like wire mesh or something
Okay.
like that. Like it's probably like a filter to something, or like your faucet or a shower head or something. I don't know. That's my thought.
it's definitely the worst bangs on the planet. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh, she did that.
She did. Do you remember like these bad bang? There was like this moment where like bad
Yikes.
bangs were a thing.
Well, I remember all throughout social media, people are like, I'm going to cut my own bangs. And I go, oh, my sweet summer
It's like
child.
right here.
My sister's a hairdresser, and I would send those to her just to make her angry. She's like, oh, don't just go to a hairdresser. People, please.
Did you watch Scream 3?
Yeah, the first
what
time
was her,
years ago.
Her name, Courtney Cox, to have the same bangs.
Right
Yeah.
up, right up in
What's
here.
wrong with
And
these
she doesn't have
people?
that very good of a forehead to be rocking something like that.
I mean, I don't know anybody who can pull off. If Beyonce can't pull off these bangs, I really don't think anybody can pull off.
Yeah, all
these
is lost.
bangs.
Beyonce, the queen, can't do it.
But anyways, those are her pants. I don't know if you can. Those are her leather pants.
Oh, that's the little ribbed thingamajigs.
I was like, ooh, this will get him. All
right,
and then we can talk about her bangs.
My instincts, yeah, that's really the more of the thing that. Do we want to replicate bangs on the stream?
No. Please.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't like
good,
bangs.
good.
They're terrible. There you go.
Damn. All right. Is this a singular pixel?
I had to zoom in really close to try to mess with you. It could be anything.
Well, successful.
It's 1 pixel. Yep.
Okay. Show me fur.
Okay, it's not fur. It's metal.
It's a titanium
it's the worst
cutting board.
And this is from the UK. So we're blaming them for the titanium cutting board.
Yeah, I see the striations. That's what I was talking about, by the way, that like brushed metal kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But you zoomed
You're
into
I could paint
a
that.
singular, can I paint it well? That's another thing.
So, like, Zach was looking up, I don't remember why, Zach, you were looking up cutting boards. We have plenty, but he wanted a new cutting board, and like stainless steel ones came up. And he was like, let me look into that. And immediately everyone's like, don't buy these because they'll ruin your knives.
100%.
But look at how they sell it.
Yeah.
Environmentally friendly, sturdy, and odorless. Like, okay, great.
Fair enough. I don't think I've ever
ruined my knives.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a cutting board have odor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you cut on that, you can be, oh, this is beautiful, this is amazing. And the next time you go to cut, you're going to go, what's wrong with my knife?
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're bashing it into
metal.
titanium.
Yeah. All the like chefs in chat are being triggered right
Yeah.
now. I was like, who are they marketing this to? Who is the like target audience here?
I guarantee you it's an eco-friendly
It's me.
type thing.
It's people like me who don't know anything
There
about
you
the
go.
kitchen
Yeah.
and just want the kitchen to look nice.
There you go. Oh, I want everything's stainless steel
That's who would
look.
buy this. Yes.
Yeah.
That's who this is for.
Maybe you get that as a charcuterie board and not as a cutting board.
Yeah. A display board. Yeah.
You're
A
gonna
display
screw
board
them
for your
up.
food.
You're going to screw up those knives.
A little bit.
All right, we got another one.
Look at Chris. Please don't use this type of cutting board.
You know what? On stream, let's go ahead and grab one of those, and I'll take a nice knife and just start
cutting.
banging against it. Oh my gosh. So the last one was 10
pixels. Little
pixels.
pixely, yeah. You can
little?
see the actual pixel squares in this one.
Oh my gosh. Like maybe
So kinky.
frog texture, so leather. I don't know. Old man face?
Old man face.
Old man face?
I mean, actually, you're right. In a way. It's metal, though. It's
yeah. It's the beaten metal right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Devin, do you watch Saw?
No. I've seen the first one. I don't really like horror movies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fair. They were supposed to come out with Saw 11. Saw 11 is due. That's how many Saws there have been.
I was going to say, I know that there was a 6.
No, there's 10. Yeah. I bet you're really sad to learn that it has been postponed yet another year. We are not getting Saw 11 this year.
Damn.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. It's about as sad as like Harambe
sad.
dying back in 2013.
Yeah. What a bummer. I just wanted to share.
11?
There's gonna be 11.
Okay,
But
there's 10.
the
There's 10 in existence.
People in charge are like not agreeing over how they should do this, and I'm just like, give us traps. That's all that matters.
Yeah, traps and, gratuitous violence. Goodness gracious.
We wouldn't spell odorless like that. We're being framed. Okay. This is the last one.
Yeah. I'm sure that you've got this zoomed in to the point where it's going to be a bait and switch again. I want to say it's fur, but there's also wood there. Let's say fur leather.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you were right. It's fur. Although it
Who
could have
is
been
that?
any of them.
Is it AI generated?
This isn't. You know what? Probably.
Yeah.
This is another Envato search for Viking. I was like, Vikings have all 3 of these.
There you go.
So I can
Yeah.
use it for
remember
whatever
the
I want.
axe haft and everything like that? He's sneaky.
Yeah.
He's so
yeah.
sneaky.
And then one really like creepy thing I think about Envato is like, take this image and now you can use AI to tweak it. And I'm just
like that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't like that. Because you're going to get 7 fingers
Yeah.
on a hand and all these different
it just
things.
feels wrong.
Yeah.
Vikings wore clothes. We are being framed.
I don't believe these zoomed out images.
Yeah.
They're clearly all lies. You're right. They are all lies.
They are.
You're
Well,
very,
most of them,
very,
but
very
I hope you
tricky.
enjoyed that.
I do.
Yeah. All right. That was our quiz. We got him, folks.
I did better than other times. I did better than other times, that's for sure.
I think you did.
But I think it's because you gave me a false sense of security. You eased me into
I did,
that, and
yeah.
then you were like, bait and switch. We're going to do BDSM gear and AI Vikings.
I'm bad at making up segments. I was telling Zach, like, what if I zoom into something and then it's something totally different? And he's like, that's only funny once. You can't do that all these times. I'm like, okay, fine, I won't. But yeah, everybody go get yourselves a nice new stainless steel cutting board.
Beat the hell out of your knives, and then complain to the knife
it.
company of
Yeah.
why the knives don't work anymore.
Cool. We are 2 super chats in for Devin to eat gross candy. We were working on fur. Do we
Looks
wanna
like it
keep
ain't happening.
working on fur, or did we want to switch to metal? It's up to you.
So with the fur, we're kind of at a rinse repeat thing, right? It's
Sure.
now kind of up to whatever your desired effect is. Let's move on to kind of some rough texture.
Okay.
However, I do want to show a quick little filter stage.
Please.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So this is starting to look more gray than it is kind of brownish, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some interesting inks. I got a burnt umber ink, and then I'm going to use a Payne's Gray ink. It's probably one of my favorites because this color just makes its way into everything because...
I've heard, yeah, it's like the go-to gray.
Yeah, because it makes things really, really dark without it being black. And then it's got a little bit of blue and a little bit of green and a little bit of purple and all these other cool, interesting colors. But it's very potent. So I'm going to basically create a wash. I'm going to create a glaze, or we're going to create a filter. Can you tell me what the difference is between all of those?
No.
Application.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's just...
I was like, I'm not even going to try. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say no.
You're honest. Really, so we got wash, we've got glaze, we've got filters. I'm sure everybody's heard these to the nth degree. It really comes down to kind of your kind of desired practice on how you do a certain thing.
Okay.
So a glaze, you're going to have a very thin paint, but you're going to be very controlled with where you're putting it. With a wash, you're going to kind of dump it everywhere. You want it to settle into the recesses.
Right.
With a filter, the objective with the filter, it's basically like a glaze, but you're wanting to shift and tint that color. Okay?
Yeah.
So like you could kind of say that like all filters are glazes, but not all glazes are filters kind of a thing.
Okay.
Right? Because with a glaze, you can use this exact same color that you've been painting with to smooth the transition and things like that. But with a filter, we're actually wanting to be, well, I need a little bit of, I'm going to throw a little green in here because what the heck.
It's St. Patrick's Day Eve.
Oh, shoot.
as well.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Basically, we want to shift the tonality of this a little bit. So I've kind of got this spoopy, kind of muddy, greenish, brownish, blackish kind of color. And the reason why I'm using inks is because they're very potent. They take thinning very, very well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this really, really liquidy kind of mixture. And I'm actually then going to wipe a lot of it off. I might put a little bit more on. So my brush is not very loaded. And what I'm going to do is just cover everything. Now, the important thing with these filters, though, is that we do not want it to settle into recesses for very long.
And why is that?
Because it starts creating unnatural pools, especially for something like texture like this. It's going to create too much of a blob. And we don't want blobs. We want nice and even. Now, if you're wanting something to be darker, like this little butt definition right here, we can come back in after it's dried, and we can come back in and only hit those areas. But again, we'll do it in a more controlled measure. There we go. That looks a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, that looks really nice.
Yeah, so this is, again, seasoned to taste here. We're just going to kind of see what, no, so we got a little bit of green, we got a little bit of Payne's Gray to darken it down, we got that burnt umber, because he's a spoopy horse.
Yeah.
He's a very spoopy, misunderstood horse.
Yeah, he's not bad. Everyone else is.
Now, one little tip / trick for this is utilizing a very similar color to what maybe your base coat is.
Okay.
In the same
to
range.
Keep it blend. Okay.
Yeah, to keep it kind of homogeneous in a particular way. If you notice this, and then we'll move on to our rough stuff. If you notice a nice big blob, look at that blob on that butt.
Oh no.
You blobbed too much. Rinse off your brush, have a little bit of water in the brush, and just in little circles, move it around. Just bring it around town.
What is that from?
It's from SpongeBob.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. It's like, I know that one.
Yep. So the thing is, though, when you're doing the filter like this, oftentimes it's best practices to do the filter kind of all at once, because you may accidentally, like in Photoshop, you may turn the opacity a little too high on a certain area, and now you've got two different stark like concentrations of color. So typically I might want to do all of the rendering of the fur to whatever I can, and then do my filters afterwards. Then I might come back in, do a little bit more fur texture, another filter. It's a rinse and repeat thing.
Yeah,
but now, despite the fact that it's kind of wet and shiny right now, you can kind of see that it's gone from that kind of powdery gray to a little bit more of a brownish kind of tinge to it. And we can then just keep doing it back and forth and back and forth. After a filter stage, you probably are going to need to go in there and re-highlight some areas. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We can totally do that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, you ready to do some hammered metal?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, and I'll work on this later.
Yeah.
But I did like expand out the flanks a bit more.
Yes.
Sorry, it's hard to tell
Let's
on
put it
camera.
right about there. No, look,
like-
you can see, look at the difference here, everyone. Throw a comment in the chat, everyone, and say beautiful butt. Oh my God. So we've got this.
Beautiful butt, Meg.
So we've got this really smooth thing. This was the first base coat, right?
Yeah.
But now we can see this kind of visual noise representing that texture.
Yeah.
It's looking good though.
Okay, good.
You notice you can see that little definition right in there. Oh,
Yeah.
I need a fat finger.
As I was expanding it out, I was like, okay, yeah, this is working. Like,
It works
if I
better.
did the whole thing, like, yeah,
Right.
I need to keep working on it.
Typically, that's what you should,
Finish,
because
yeah.
you're going to get a skewed result if you just do like one single
piece,
area.
yeah.
But yeah, you can see like you keep some of this little definition in here, so you might skip a little layer right here and go in here. You got this really nice little curve right there. That looks good. Yeah, that's kind of the fundamentals.
Yeah, much better.
So you can very easily just do one single round.
Yes. Sorry.
Hey, I wash my hands before the stream soups. They're not that greasy.
Oh my God. Okay,
All right.
we're doing metal boys.
I know this is your favorite. You love painting armor
love
and
painting
metal,
armor.
all that stuff. So I'll give you a little bit of an example. We're going to paint with actual flat color, and then we're going to do a little bit of metallics. So it's going to be nice and fun to do. So all I want you to do is just pick some fun colors that you want to smash into the model, okay?
Okay.
And I'll show a little example. So this is a fun model that I have
so pretty.
from Trench Crusade. Would you mind brightening it up
I was
the
going to
camera
say, is
just
that,
a touch?
yeah.
We've got some fun models from Trench Crusade. This is totally my jam. But this is kind of the idea that we're wanting to go for, okay? You can see lots of textures and pitting and damage and stuff like that, and they're real grimy, right? So that's kind of the idea that we're wanting to go with. And much like when we did our tactical rocks, we're going to be using filters as well to kind of...
Okay.
The nice thing about these, each of these were about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You'll see how I paint it. It's just, I'm smashing color into everything, getting the shapes and the volumes as how I want, and then I will put like a little filter over it and blend that way.
Okay.
Because I got a few of these guys to paint, and I just want them to be painted to a somewhat of a uniform degree. But it's not just metals. You can do the same thing with the leather. So I've got this.
That's so interesting. So
got this
you can
bone
do
reaper.
the same technique for both.
Correct.
You use both. Okay.
I mean, you don't use metallics in here at the end.
Right.
And then you probably want to use more organic textures. So this is the ink that I actually used, this transparent burnt sienna, to kind of give it that kind of oily, sheeny kind of thing. Yeah, you're going to use lots of ochres and yellows and oranges and things like that, whereas with the beaten metal, we're kind of go a little crazy. So I did not print a second one out because I'm a dum-dum, but I have this little guy that I'll just go ahead and just kind of start smashing some paint around. Okay. So what color should I paint this? What do you think?
What does he look like?
He kind of looks like a little vampire lord guy.
Oh, red.
Red? All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be red. I already have purple out. Or is this too light?
Well,
I can make a different purple.
You want to do red too? Or what are you going to do?
Oh yeah, let me just follow along with you. Let's do red. Either way. I'll do a red guy.
So mix the two. Make a little mix.
Super red purple. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll do that.
So I'll show everybody here. We kind of want a little bit of a darker tone. So I'm going to mix this kind of purple. Yeah, there we go. Get a little bit of that red in there. And I want it to lean a lot more red with like a hint of purple. So my ratio might be like 70-30 kind of a thing.
Rudy. Hi, Rudy. Good to see you.
Not those filthy reds. Get out of here,
welcome,
Chef.
Welcome, Burr. Welcome, Lucas. Welcome, Jose. Welcome, I cannot say this name. And welcome, Way Too Squishy.
Yes.
I don't know the letters. I'm sorry. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Rudy. That's awesome. Thanks for the new members. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream.
Yeah. All right. So this is a lot of fun for me because much like the tactical rocks, it's a very different level of painting. It doesn't have to be precise. So the nice thing is about this is get a ratty brush. We don't necessarily, you can use a dry brush that's nice and good to go, whatever, it's okay. But that's too controlled for this. I'm actually even going to split this a little bit. We want this brush to have just random strays all over the place because that is going to give us our texture.
Guess what? I went with purple.
That's amazing. Go for it.
I just added some blue to this.
No, yeah, I'm mixing a little touch of blue in mine as well. That's awesome.
But I'll pull red as I highlight up.
We want a ratty brush for this first step. Okay?
Oh, let's get rid of this.
The reason we want that ratty brush is we want all of that little variety of textures and stuff. Hey!
I know, Rudy. Rudy's on it today. Rudy, hey, Hobby Club fam, spending some time with the family for my 50th birthday today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Rudy.
birthday!
What the heck? We didn't know. Oh my gosh. We could have made it more special. We're going to have to sing to him. Sending some good vibes and cash to help with a new computer. Thank you. We appreciate that. Not make Devin eat candy. Too bad. I am supposed to say gorgeous hindquarters.
I like that. That's very pinky out.
Yeah,
it's very pinky
I love it. Should we sing to Rudy right now? Or
yeah.
Okay.
So I do have a bit of a thing in my family though, is we all hate the happy birthday song because people sing it like a funeral procession, like as if someone died. And so we have like a little pep going.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rudy. Happy birthday to you. A little fast.
It's like, what? Yay, Rudy. Happy birthday, Rudy. 50. Yeah, you do not look 50. You look great for your age. Cool. Hope you have fun. What are you doing?
Yeah, have fun.
Hanging out. Polly says, Devin, do you enjoy salmiak? We'll find out. We're one super chat away.
I cannot confirm nor deny because I don't even know what that word is. So I'm going to load the brush, and this is all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a little bit of this black in here, and I'm just going to stipple.
Oh, okay.
Keep some of the black, though, because we want to have that definition, much like the last thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
We want that definition in there. And don't be afraid of underloading the brush and then just keep applying. It's totally fine. Yeah. And this is why I like to end, the texture chat with stuff like this, because it's a lot more fun. And it also
it's super loose. Yeah.
It's loose, and it gets people to kind of go like, wait a second, I'm painting a miniature. Yeah. Have fun with it though.
Right.
We don't need it to be crisp and clean. And so I'm just going to paint wherever it takes my fancy. Okay. One little tip that I can share is we paint so much by the ferrule right here when we're painting and stuff like that. For something like this, I want you guys painting like this. I want to paint further back because you inherently cannot be that precise that way. So we're just going to shift it up a little bit Oh, let me put paint on camera.
Okay, now we're adding more red.
Boop, boop. Yep. And then the nice thing is we're kind of doing stipple wet blending here. So don't even bother cleaning your brush. I'll show it right here. Don't even bother cleaning your brush. I'm just going to kind of dip into the, like a loaded brush blend, dip into that red, and I'll keep painting. This thing keeps moving on me. I'll just keep painting and painting and painting away.
Tactile Sun says, eat that damn candy. Oh my gosh.
I might give the people what they want.
So there you go. We got to 5.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If we get to 5 more, I'll do it too. How about that? And we have 4 left because Chef just donated another super chat. For not doing blue, you get the nasty candy. Also, thank you for being here and doing this, Devin. How have you been? How's the back, Meg? How have you been, Devin?
I've been good. I just actually got a new job. So
yes, tell us about it. How fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to be working for a plumbing company. I'm the inventory and warehouse manager, which I'm daunted by, but also excited because it's going to be a fun and interesting challenge. But I've been having to do a lot of driving because it's out in Pacifica every day, which is about an hour every day kind of a thing. But the people there are fantastic, and I'm very excited to kind of embark on that little challenge there. But yeah, and I've also been trying to teach a lot more and kind of get my name out there and stuff, which has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you hurt your back?
My back just always kind of hurts, but no, it's fine. I'm okay. I've been trying to get my get myself into a regular exercise routine. That's like the first problem, right? Like I'm not doing it consistently. It's unfortunately the thing on the chopping block first if I'm busy.
Yeah.
Or I don't get enough sleep.
I get it. I'm the same way.
Oh, Chef is asking about my tattoo.
Oh.
I'm an idiot. That's right. That just, it's like not, I don't feel it at all, Chef. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I guess my back's fine. I totally forgot.
Asking about your tattoo. I don't care about your health. How's the tattoo?
Gives a shit if your back hurts, Meg. Everyone's old. We're all going through this. It's fine. I posted a picture in Discord. I'm sorry, Polly. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, there's a picture in Discord of where my tattoo's at. And it really didn't hurt yesterday. Like, and it doesn't hurt today.
Are you a side sleeper or a back sleeper?
I'm a side sleeper.
Oh, well, see, that'll do. I'm a back sleeper. That would probably kill me.
You know, I could have slept on my back. Humble
brag.
I don't feel it. Like,
humble brag. I could have slept on the back if I wanted to. I just didn't want to.
No, the free chat doesn't work, Chef. I was going to say Soups because he's usually the one causing problems. But no, it doesn't count, Chef.
Oh, do I have to eat this candy?
You do. You do. We're waiting to see if we get to, where are we at? 4 more? Because if we get to 4 more, then I'll do it too. And then we can do it at the same time.
All right.
Yeah.
So notice that this is...
Thank you for asking, Chef. I'm sorry I'm such a bozo.
It's very wet right now. Which is totally fine. We're just establishing big, broad highlights.
Okay.
And it's also a lot of fun because we're intentionally wet blending. Ugh, these are thick. Here, I'm going to sneak a little bit of orange in there for you, as you may want.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, so this is really what we're doing, right? And you notice... Let's see. Let's get this in here real nicely. Let's point. You can see a lot of these little micro textures in here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at yours. We want to evaluate, right? And if you go, I really like the way this looks. The hard part is don't touch it, right? Because we want that to dry, and we want that to stay there. Because we're establishing that texture. Look at you.
Should I not be doing this?
No,
Did I jump ahead? Okay.
No, you're fine.
I'm like...
I'm doing the same thing.
Bad student.
No,
Listen.
You're eager. But yeah, as we get more and more highlighted, much like the fur, as we start focalizing little areas, I'm mixing a tad bit of orange into this.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just going to start adding a little bit more. And being a little bit more controlled with where I'm putting things.
I need to add more red. All right, Polly.
You hear that, Chef? More
Oh
red.
my gosh. Soups. I got a double bed in my hotel room if you need a break from these bozos. Yes, Polly's coming to visit Warhammer World also.
Oh,
So
that's in Nottingham, right?
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. There's going to be so many of us. And now Soups doesn't have to hang out with us, which is great. Okay, Chef. Oh, okay, that's fair. But we are almost to 2 years. We are almost to 2 years.
That's wild.
That's going to be crazy. What should we do for our birthday this year, you guys?
More of this terrible candy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It says no pissin'? Oh, passin'. Never mind. I was like, what are you getting me into?
Don't worry. This means call of the jungle. Jungle call or something. And if you look at the packaging, the monkey is...
It's banging the other monkey.
It's intentionally doing that. It's not just like the way they designed it. It's like that's what they wanted.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Interesting to say the freaking least.
Yeah. Wild stuff.
When you're at a happy stopping point, this is probably the most agonizing part of this whole thing is you just gotta let it dry.
Yeah.
But we want to kind of cultivate these little tiny texture or pock marks. And the nice thing is that because we're still doing kind of a wet on wet, very Bob Rossian, by the way, what we can do is we can get I have this kind of not super nice brush. I will put a little bit of water in it. And if there are certain areas, like for example, this area right here, I don't like this. I'm just going to kind of swoop it away.
Okay.
I might come in there and just kind of free float and move things around a little bit. Then it's important that you don't come at it with your water in your brush like this.
Yeah.
We really just want it to see that sheen.
Yeah.
That's really what we want. We don't want a whole lot of water in there because we don't want to erase too much of this. But I'm really happy with a lot of these little pock marks that we're getting. And you can kind of start seeing in the shadowed side, you can start seeing that drying, and it creates these really interesting little natural textures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yours is like you really went at it. I feel like I held back.
That's okay. You've never done this before. I kind of expect that.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
But I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so all we're doing is we're just picking up little things that I don't like this. I want to move this, move that, whatever. It kind of goes with this fixing mistakes kind of a thing. Uh-oh.
We're getting
Party
close.
Lights.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Soups to do a tally because I lost track. Okay,
yeah, Soups, tally me bananas.
So free chats don't work. How about this one? I guess it does. Thanks, Soups. Chef, I think we're almost there, Soups. Yeah. I think it's just one more, but I'm not sure. But that's fine. You don't have to. I don't mind not eating this candy. I've done my time.
I've put in work.
I'm very excited for you to try this candy.
Okay, all right.
But we had Brett try it. Brett was the last one, I think, to try it on stream. And he was like, just casually chewing it like it was nothing. And he was just like, well, if it didn't have this part, it'd be fine. But he just kept eating it very calmly. And I was like, why aren't you having a stronger reaction than this?
You're a psychopath. So I want to point this out right here. On this area of the shoulder, of my shoulder right here, it's pretty barren. But if I were to come back in there with this big ham-fisted brush, I'm probably going to ruin a lot. So I'm going to come back in there with a brush with that kind of highlight color. And remember how we were painting very perpendicular for the fur? We're going to kind of do the similar type of a thing. So I'll illustrate it here. I'm going to paint it very much like this. And I'm going to literally put little dots.
Okay.
Can you see that on camera?
I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. So I'm just going to mimic kind of those dots. And then I might go on this little edge and my edge highlight it a little bit.
Okay.
And I might come in here and go, oh, let's make these little pokey dokey dots.
I'm going to make like a red orange for this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we can continually come in there. We can edge highlight certain things. We can add little more swoop-de-doos, more pock marks.
Oh, you're eating the candy, Meg. You're eating the candy. Thanks, Chef. Team effort or chef effort?
No, I think that was sabotage.
Yeah. I think that's 10 soups.
Oh boy.
So we did it. You and I are both going to eat this horrible, horrible candy. But I'm very excited for your reaction.
You just tell me when.
They've seen mine already.
I watched it. I tuned in. I was like, oh, I'll tune in. I got a spare. I think did you guys do that on a Sunday? You and Zach?
We
Might have been on a Sunday.
We did our...
And the first thing I got was you said, oh God, this is awful. And I went, what did I just tune into? And then Zach's like, well, it's not terrible. And you're like, how are you still chewing this?
Yeah. I really wanted to just swallow it. Like, just swallow it whole.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I did.
I did say that. I always swallow.
Yeah.
So when I'm eating. So but it's hard. You're gonna see it's hard to swallow.
All right.
The candy.
Okay.
We're talking about candy.
Sure. So yeah, the most painstaking part of this whole process is just letting it dry.
Sure.
But the nice thing is that we've done a lot of work. We have created some interesting kind of focal points. You can kind of see everywhere on the shoulder pad. It's a little bit more focalized here. Same thing with the gauntlet. And as I turn, the gauntlet has a nice stark shadow, followed by a little bit of a shadow underneath here, and then a little bit more right here, and then it gets some more shadow, right? So we're creating that. This thing keeps rotating on me. We're creating that nice little focal point here. Now I was going in there and I'm adding in those little pock marks of that like kind of reddish orange here, right, for the highlight stuff. You can absolutely do the same thing in reverse. And we can go in with a nice dark shadowed kind of color
and just put back some,
put some stuff back in there to create that definition. Now, the more, especially with something like metal and leather, the more of these dark areas that you put in there, the more deep of a gouge it might look like. It's going to look so pitted. Do you remember that guy?
I think so.
Yeah, surfer guy. He's one of my favorites. The surfer guy in like, I don't know, 2009 or whatever, just so pitted. And the news anchor is just sitting there going like, what is happening? Whip, bam, boom, so pitted. But we'll add these little dark little areas in here just to further add that definition. And then here is a little bit of secret sauce.
I'll need to do that too.
All right, so we're adding in these darker areas to break up these brighter areas, right?
Right.
And we'll kind of go back and forth to whatever we're wanting, like whatever desired effect we're trying to get. The next, we'll just kind of go back and forth and back and forth. And the reason why we've now switched to a more precise brush, one is just so we can be more precise, but two, we can also have a higher concentration of color. With the dry brush stippling, it's kind of diluted all over the place and stuff. Here we're actually applying single like dots of paint here and there.
Yeah.
So you can make that nice and strong. Are people excited about me eating this terrible candy?
They are, except it seems like Soups isn't, because he keeps trying to convince us that we didn't hit 10. He's like, are you sure? And everyone's like, yes, Soups, here. Are you sure you're not... You're counting the free ones. Yes, Soups. So if Soups says we didn't hit 10, I guess we didn't hit 10 and I don't have to eat it.
There we go. I'm still in it.
Soups, I'm going to eat it. Don't worry, you guys. Soups is not a man of the people today, it seems like.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not counting freebies. You just stop paying attention to the stream, Soups. He's like doxing himself.
On these, especially with metallic stuff, we like crisp edge highlights, but sometimes we need a little bit of spice, a little bit of variety, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I like edge highlighting. I've never heard anyone call it anything, so I call it tip-tap. My little tip-tap method. So what I like to do, why is that funny?
I'm laughing at
Soups, at the chat?
Soups is sort of throwing a
Oh,
super
hey,
chat
look at
tantrum.
that. He just wants to watch the world burn is what it is.
I know.
So,
Okay, if you do 5 more, we'll get Zach. No, just kidding. He's not in here.
so
Plus, he likes it.
these rims right here,
Yeah.
they like kind of are asking for a highlight. They're just begging
Yes,
for it.
for sure.
I mean, look how it's dressed. Sorry.
They were asking for
They're
it.
asking for it.
Yeah.
So instead of
They
doing,
shouldn't have worn that out.
They really shouldn't have. Instead of just doing like a nice little whoop of a highlight, we're gonna do the same thing, but instead I'm gonna emphasize it. We're gonna tip tap all along that
Yes,
edge,
smart.
and I'm gonna
Okay.
use just the tip. And I'm just gonna.
Now it's oh my God, Soups. Now it's 12.
I'm going to tip tap, and that's going to increase the amount of texture while also highlighting. So I'm being
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
over dramatizing it for the camera or whatever, so you can see.
Yeah, let me
But-
make sure it's focused too while you're doing that.
Focus. But yeah, I'll go on all these little edges, especially if I'm doing this kind of beaten texture.
Sorry, guys.
Hey.
There goes the man Frodo. Hold on, let me work on it.
Nope, we're good. We got it.
Okay.
We got it. But yeah, you notice I'm on these little edge highlights. I'm just sitting there and I'm tapping. I'm tapping away. Add a little bit more orange. And just tip tap. And that is just going to further increase the presence of this texture without just doing a straight edge highlight. Because if we were to do an edge highlight on this, it'll look a little weird.
Yeah, and I did that already, so I'm gonna go back and like tip tap with the dark color.
Yeah. And do it the same way with a if you're edge highlighting, right? You paint perpendicular to that edge rather than just using the tip for those edges, because it just makes more sense and it's a lot easier. Now, it's not always using just the tip, contrary to popular belief.
Sometimes you gotta use the whole thing.
Sometimes it's belly and all. And Soups, I see you just instigating
He is.
absolute chaos.
Now I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna eat the damn candy because Soups doesn't know how to count. Should I just ban Soups?
Yeah, we don't placate to the
Should I
unlearned.
just time out Soups for a minute? Because he's accusing me of not being able to count. All of chat is like, yep, they hit 10. And Soups is like, no, they didn't.
He wanted to be 10. That's really what
That's
it
why,
is.
yeah.
But yeah, this is, it can be a tedious thing. So maybe you don't do it on an entire project. Maybe you do it on a specific area. Maybe you do it on like that shield that person is, it's been very, very well used and well loved and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maths. Quick maths.
All right. Should we make them wait till the end to eat the candy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. I'm happy to
They'll
put
be
it
all
off.
Twitter-pated. Y'all got to be
I haven't seen
patient.
that movie in a long time.
What movie?
Bambi.
Bambi?
That's where Twitter-pated comes from.
Does it really?
Yes.
Really?
Did you see Bambi?
I mean,
You have, right?
yeah.
At some point in your life.
Yeah, of course, but
Okay. Yeah, it's like the
Really?
springtime. It's after everyone grows up, and it's springtime, and they're all like finding their mates because now they've realized, oh, we're all horny. And
because nature's gonna bone.
yeah, they talk about being Twitter-pated. The owl's like, you're Twitter-pated.
Good memory. Or maybe you just watched it last night. I don't know.
I watch it every day. No. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite Disney movies.
I mean, I haven't seen Bambi since my youngest sister watched it. So,
I'm pretty sure I saw it like within the last 10 years of my life. Like I just threw it on. I also saw Dumbo within the last 10 years of my life.
Dumbo's great. I actually really like
Dumbo's
Dumbo.
so good. And it's quick.
Yeah.
It's like an hour.
It just gets going.
Do you cry at the baby mind scene?
No,
No, I cry every
but
time.
it's a very emotional scene.
It is,
I
yeah.
like it.
You're like, don't
I don't watch it.
bring me into this.
I don't watch it all the time where I'm like, oh
All
my
the
God.
time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's good. No, I don't watch it all the time either, but when I do, I cry.
I don't know. Let's ask Zach if he can confirm that. Yeah, she's on a Dumbo kick.
Oh my God.
Oops.
I used to have Saw marathons where this was back when there were only like 5 Saws.
Back
So I
in the
could do
old
it in a
days.
day.
Back in the days, like, from me an hour ago thinking that there were only 5 or 6.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't be enough. Zach would be gone all day at work, and I'd be like, well, I guess I'm watching Saw today. And then I'd throw all the Saws on.
All day.
Yep, and do something else. Yeah, Pinocchio is dark.
Oh my gosh, Pinocchio is freaking dark.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're talking about, is it Treasure Island or Pleasure Island? You're like,
Yeah, I think
he's a little boy.
He's so small. And
He's just a heckin' boy, and they're talking about Pleasure Island? Like, get out of here.
And then they steal him, like,
Yeah.
away from his dad. I mean, essentially,
That's called
Geppetto's
kidnapping.
his dad. Yeah, it's like,
Well, I mean, I guess
Jesus.
if he's a puppet, it might be just theft, not kidnapping. But
Sure.
he's got no strings to hold him down, though, so.
Yeah. Turn him into a donkey.
Yeehaw. All right.
That story's wild, actually. I'm like thinking about it. Doesn't he get swallowed by a whale? And
Yeah, he
lives in
does.
there for a while. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Freaking Germans.
Yeah, right? If you do not listen to your mother and your father, we will cut off your thumbs. What? Yes, like the tale where he puts his thumb in a pie and then we eat him.
What?
I don't remember the name of that German folklore, but like, yeah, he sticks his thumb in the pie. You don't know that one?
No.
Chat, help me out.
What? And then his thumb gets, and then they eat it?
No, like the idea is that like he I guess like disobeyed or whatever,
Yeah.
and so they cut off his thumbs. It's like,
Oh, they do. Okay.
well, the Germans they're
Yeah.
they're serious.
I mean, they came up with Hansel and Gretel too, right?
yeah. Do not talk to strangers or they
Throw
will
these
eat
little
you.
kids in the
Yeah.
freaking oven.
A witch will eat you. A way to traumatize
Jesus, these guys
them
are
and to be like,
serious.
yes, we will listen to you because I do not want to be eaten.
Wait, what's Italian? Oh, Pinocchio is Italian. You're right. Why did I think it was German? Wait, is it Italian or is it German?
I mean, Pinocchio. Well, I mean,
Pinocchio. Oh, yeah,
yeah. So the CHI in
That's
in
Italian,
Italian
yeah.
is a k sound.
It is Italian. You're right. It's, you know what threw me off is the lederhosen. Because they have him wearing like lederhosen, right?
They
so he
do.
looks German to me.
They do.
Maybe I don't know. Listen, I'm not European, just like Vino. I don't know anything. Oh, wow, that looks really nice, Geppetto. Yeah, you're right, Polly. Sorry.
So
I'm bad at this.
lots of modeled texture, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
hammered and beaten. Very Italian.
That's really nice.
It's very Italian.
I'm kind of just gonna. I want to sit back and just look at yours
Yeah.
because it's really good.
So I've really only focused on like basically like the shoulder pad,
Yeah.
a little bit right in here to just kind of retain that kind of focus. Now, I'm gonna go in there with like a brown mixed in with my dark color, and I'll just kind of come in here. I'm gonna underline some stuff just to give a little bit more separation here and there. But yeah, we're kind of in this like season to taste kind of attitude. Now, he's half Italian, half Spanish, German born, but a refugee that crossed the border to Austria.
Honestly, he's a piece of wood. So
2025 confirmed. Pinocchio's a piece of wood. So yeah, this is where we go, right?
yeah.
If I wanted to, and I'm gonna do it, just to show, because we're learning and growing.
Some of us are.
All right.
Everyone. But
Be real pessimistic
I feel
with
like
it.
I'm just
Sheesh.
making a mess.
Get it? Megan a mess?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am a mess.
Because that's like your name. So I'm going to mix a bunch of yellow into my orange because this is going to get real,
Yeah.
real bright. Because I want to illustrate something. Now, red is one of those colors that you can take too far very, very quickly. So I'm going to tip-tap around. I'll add some more mottled texture here and there. Boop-a-doop. Right? And it's very, very apparent. Right? You can see that very, very easily on camera where we've got that yellow. And it almost looks unpleasant because it's not red. Right?
Right.
Oh, that was a little big. Whoopsie-doopsie. Hopefully the Germans will not cut off my thumbs for making the oopsie.
Oh man. Yeah, let's just continue with the lore that it's a German movie.
It's if you are made of wood, you will be swallowed by whale.
Man. What do you think of the paint bottles?
I think the paint's actually quite nice. I like how thick it is, but the aperture for that little squeezy do way too thin for how dummy thick they are.
This is the first time I'm experiencing like a hard time squeezing it out.
I don't have a hard time squeezing it out.
It's just all right. Moving on. Yeah, it's come out before, like no problem.
Yeah, I think
kinda dried
I just think the aperture for that like nozzle is a little too. It's just a little too skinny.
Yeah.
Lewd. Yes.
Like leave me alone.
All right, so you see, I put a bunch of yellowish, orangey yellow dots in there. That may be the effect that you're going for. It may not be. I'm wanting.
I like it.
It looks cool,
Looks
right?
like fire.
It kind of looks like fire, right? But if that's not what you're wanting, we're gonna do a filter step, and
Oh yeah.
I chose that because I saw you have this just kick-ass fluorescent red ink right here, and I'm actually going to smuggle that into my red. So I'm gonna take this primary red color, right? Normally I'd use a primary red ink, but I just don't have it right now. And I'll take a few drops of this here. Boop. Actually, I'll take one because it's potent. And what I'm gonna do, let me bring that here. So this is where I'm putting my ink right here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water, make it kind of the same type of consistency, really thin. Very good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wipe off some of that, and I'm going to selectively filter just those areas I don't like. Okay. So if I'm not cool with this, rather than doing a whole
like
thing,
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna just very lightly go right across there. And I'm actually taking a lot of paint off so that I can be more controlled. And I will shift just those little tip taps, those little dots, while still kind of obeying the overarching color. Boop-a-doop.
Man, yeah, that looks really nice. I love that ink color.
Well, the fluorescents are fantastic.
So good.
Mixing in fluorescent, fluorescent inks in general, but any fluorescent into an existing color. So if you've got like a fluorescent blue, smuggle that into another blue. It just makes things that much more punchy. Here's a fun little thing too: is they're UV reactive.
So are they all? The fluorescents.
Yes. Yeah. Especially the paints. I actually haven't tested out the inks, but so you can kind of go, hey, cool. I have it visible. Different areas visible under a different light spectrum, and then people will say, "Stop talking to me. Who are you? How'd you get into my house?"
Home invader.
Yeah, I like using the fluorescents because it adds an extra bit of saturation and extra bit of punch.
Yeah, I like them too. I should think to use them more.
I would, if you're interested in trying to use them, smuggle them into an existing color. Because they do not, like, especially the paints, they don't play very well on their own, in my opinion. So smuggling them in with other like colors tends to yield better results, especially the paints, because the paints tend to be this weird kind of goopy amalgamation of, I don't know. That's why I tend to like the inks better. But yeah, look at that.
Polly, I rarely play a game under UV. Freaking smartass.
Well, it seems like you've got a hole in your resume and you need to start playing it under blacklight. And then you have some deep house music going.
Yeah, Polly.
And then you speak in an effeminate German accent.
Yeah. When you're talking about something Italian. Yeah. Ugh, Meg.
I have 16 4-ups to make. And just... All right. Yeah, so again, another little filter type of a thing. Now, we could replace all of this with browns and oranges and ochres and tans and stuff like that, and substitute again for another like brownish kind of ink. If we want it to be more orangey, we put an orangey kind of washer ink, and bam, we've got rough leather. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Very, very, very similar in the same kind of respects. Now, for this, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. Let's preview your jam.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't.
Have you done any rushing yet?
I did not do the glaze yet.
Nice.
No.
But look at that. You've got nice instant contrast going. It looks real rough and
I decided
beaten.
let me just focus on this corner
Yeah.
now.
No, that adds a lot of drama to it. And I like that you have some on that little visor and stuff. It adds a lot of visual noise and visual interest and such.
Oh, good.
Yeah, put a nice little filter on
I
it,
will.
and that's going to look really cool.
Yeah, I will.
Drink.
Yeah, thanks. So mix this with the red.
Yeah, yeah. If we had a red ink, you just mix the two together and bam, you're good to go.
Right.
But we want to use this primary red because it's here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I'll keep doing that. We have a lot of fan stuff. Is this a good time for
This is
that?
a great time. I need this to dry.
Great, perfect. Okay. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about all your guys' work,
Yo.
starting with Sad Tony.
Why are you sad? These are cool
Sad
ultramarines.
Tony, why are you sad? I've never asked.
Don't do
Tony's
sad.
not his real name. We actually know this person in real life. Zach knows this person in real life. I've probably met this person, and I have a bad memory, so I don't remember. It's just Sad Tony to me.
We're calling him
But
Sad
anyways,
Tony.
yeah.
I like it. This is
so
cool.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I mean, really, that really like kind of powdery blue, that powdery primary kind of blue, is really showcased really well on
Yeah.
these guys. And then you got that cool gold trim.
It's so clean.
Yeah.
I just love how clean everything looks. And
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
There's like red once in a while, and it's just like, boom, it's right in
Yeah,
your face.
it explodes. Yeah, you've got a lot of good primaries going. You've got some reds, the yellows is represented in the gold, and then that blue. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
This is Vino. Vino, I forget, again, you told me what it was and I can't remember, but the important thing about this model is the face. It's just like a mask of skin stretched.
I was going to say, it looks like somebody stapled his
Yes,
face back.
It's so good.
Like, ooh, boy, you want a facelift.
Old school Dark Eldar Archon. That's right. He kept saying Archon, and I was like, is he saying Archeon? And I'm like, this isn't Archeon. I'm like, no, this definitely is not Archeon. This is Archon.
That's definitely an Archon, but ooh, boy,
I love it so much.
it's a face only a mother could love.
I know. He painted it up real fast, and it was a really fun
Nice.
little project. So
I like the magenta. I'm a huge fan
Yeah.
of bold colors, so magenta is always right with me.
yeah, thanks for sharing, Vino. This is such a funny model to look at. This is Voodoo Fairy.
Whoa!
He's got the wolf things, the new wolf things. Yeah.
with a chair with a Slaves of Darkness chariot. It looks like, and a giant minigun. That's awesome. Is that supposed to be a truck, like an orc truck?
No, I mean they made wolf chariots as the new.
Oh, just recently.
Yeah,
Oh, so
they're-
that might be the wolf chariot.
I think it is, yeah,
Okay.
because I think these look. I mean, you're saying that, and I'm like, wait, is it? Is it a mashup?
Yeah.
But no, this looks like
That's awesome.
orc stuff. I think happening.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's working on the new wolf
Nice.
orcs.
Well, I mean, is this supposed to represent like a truck? Like in 40K, one of the things that the orcs do is they loot things. Oh. And so that I love them or hate them. I've never met an orc player that doesn't have an absolute blast on
Yeah.
the gaming table. Whether they're usually not winning, but they're usually having the most fun.
Usually not winning.
Yeah, they're usually having the most fun though.
Yeah.
So I could see that being like a looted truck where they're just strap a minigun to a bunch of wolves and they're like, get on with it. This is great.
Yeah. Really cool. It's been really nice hanging out with you, Voodoo, so much in Hobby Hang and seeing all your painting
That's
progress.
cool.
So thanks for sharing more orc wolf goodness. This is Midgar. He's been working on rats.
They're all facing the same way too. What's going on?
I know, what's happening over here?
On the screen left. They're all saying like, yeah. I think my favorite, I'm not a huge fan of the Skaven stuff, just
Sure,
not
sure.
usually my flavor, but I really like the guy on the far left with that really wicked looking blade. He's really cool looking with the goat horns and stuff.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's on like a bell?
I think their models are really fun.
I
Yeah,
love
he
the
is on a
one
bell.
with the monowheel motorcycle thing that came out for
Yeah.
the, like, I think it was Underworlds or something like that. Oh my gosh. I was like, resist, because that's the only the only model that I want. It's like $100 kit.
You're right. I wouldn't mind like getting like you know, when we have all of the stuff we need, like all of our armies, like I just want to go out and get a couple of these kits and just paint them for fun because they're really cool.
Huge proponent of that. Paint stuff that isn't for your army, just as a break.
Yeah,
because you want to. Yeah. That's part of the fun of all of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the kind of wispy blue and the purples and greens. I love that blue too. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't see that blue a lot. Thanks for sharing, Midgar. These are cool.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back that blue.
This is Pat. Pat C. You're here in chat now, Pat.
I like it. I like that. I can totally see that. That's like a frost blade.
Yeah. Is that a like a texture paste or something that you put on it, Pat?
It's possible that he actually put some extra of the snow flocking on there as well. That's cool though.
It is super cool.
I really like that. And yeah, like you got the metallics, they look kind of beaded, you know, beaten up and everything, so pitted.
Yeah.
Very similar to like kind of this thing that we can do. You can do this same technique with metallics. And one of the things that I really like doing is mix in some flat paints with my metallics to add those little shadows and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You get a lot of drama.
Very cool snow base too.
I'm a huge fan of snow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of snow bases in our Discord recently. I feel like people have been churning them out. It's been cool. Haha, get it? Oh, this is Necromancer Goblin. I freaking love this model. This is old
square base too.
Yeah,
rad. He's the oh my gosh, Indiana Jones, Kalima, with the heart in the Temple of Doom. That's what it was.
I love this so much. It's just ripping the heart out of his little enemy.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
He means bidness with a D.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is fun. I hope you had fun painting this.
I love these old models. Yeah. They're so nostalgic. They're really cool.
They're very silly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Incredibly silly. Thank you for sharing. That's fun. This is Tactile Sun.
Ooh.
Tactile Sun was playing over the weekend.
Is this Necromunda or
I'm gonna pull
Kill
up
Team?
there.
Maybe?
I was like, I'm gonna remember what Tactile Sun said, and then of course I didn't because I never remember anything.
That's super fun.
But he did share in our channel, and I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna say what it is. Okay, this is from last weekend, a skirmish with a big ass board of Battle Systems Terrain. I don't know what that means.
The terrain is from that company.
Okay.
Nice.
So Space Weirdos is a brand then?
Okay.
I guess.
Cool. No, this looks really cool. I love
very cool.
I love little action shots like this. They're so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate the scene setup
with
the models. It's like, yep, we have fun with
Oh,
our models.
hold on. I'm going to answer this.
Yes.
Anyone know how to do a proper snow slush mud base? Fun thing, actually, you take the snow texture, mix it in with like some mud texture.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just kind of add as much snow or as little snow as that you want, put that as your base, and then after that's dry, add fresh snow on top of that. So now you've got a variety of textures.
Yeah.
Really simple, really easy to do.
Nice. Good question from chat.
Holy.
This is Chimerix.
Holy cow.
Chimerix also has a video in the Discord, so if you're not in the Discord, go check it out. I mean, all these folks have multiple pictures going on, so should always go check it out. I love these colors.
You know what I love about this? It's very subtle.
Yeah.
It doesn't call a lot of attention to itself.
It just smacks you in the face a little bit.
Yeah. This is, you know how they say like the 3-foot rule for like, oh, does it look presentable at 3 foot or whatever? This is 12 maybe?
Yeah.
And this is going to scream at you at 12 feet. That's yowza.
I just love this.
And you got Fulgrim in the back. What are your thoughts on that Fulgrim model?
The model itself. Oh, this is like the new. It's new, right? Kind of.
Yeah, the new
snake dude.
Snaky dude guy with the wings.
He's got like different faces.
He's got an ugly face.
Yeah.
He's got an ugly face.
I mean, I like the snake body. Like it's very Marathi.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
I love Marathi. Yeah. Marathi's really fun.
Like that's the part that interests me, the wings and the body, right? Like the natural elements. Everything else, I'm like, it's armor.
Too boring. Too boring.
I don't want to paint armor.
I want feathers and I want fun.
I don't know. I think he's cool. I don't have any like strong attachments to Fulgrim.
I was just curious because there was a whole brouhaha about the new 40K model that came out where his face is really ugly. This is thanks, Polly. This is the older version in resin.
Okay.
It's far better.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Damn, this screams.
I know. This is a great paint scheme. That's going to be cool on the table. Elijah was putting together plant Legos. I
They
thought I'd
make
share that.
Lego plants?
They make Lego everything, dude. It's like Rule 34.
All right, I'm going
probably
to add
a
that to
Lego
my
of it.
search.
Yeah.
Their search history
There's
is
probably a Lego of it. There's
Rule
also probably a
34
Rule
Lego?
34 Lego. Yeah. Thanks, Elijah. This is Filippo. This is his rat dude. Is this a great horned one? I actually don't know the names of these models.
I know his name.
Who is it? Is this the great horned one?
It's Billy.
Billy. Oh,
Yeah,
this is Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. This has a lot of close-up
Yeah.
photos in our Discord, and there's a ton of detail like on the horns that you can see.
Is it in the finished?
It is in the
section?
finished.
All right, I'll
yeah,
have to
yeah,
check them
yeah.
out.
It's
These
beautiful.
are cool.
Yeah, and very cool freehand going on the banner or
Yeah.
the sash.
Good decal work on a lot of that, where it kind of fades with the color and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, and of course another snow base.
Naturally,
Snow bases
because
are, yeah.
it's
are in
snow
right now.
fun to
Yeah.
have no snow.
And thank you, Soups, for your research. Turns out Rule 34 Lego does exist. I guess we won't be hearing from Soups for a while. Okay, Bond. This is Bond's. This is very
Hey, I like that gradient
cool.
to that pink.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's
it's so
cool.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very
Looks
soft
very
pink,
nice.
and what's cool about it is you can tell he's drawing a lot of attention to it because he's he's gaming with it, so you can see it from the top
Yeah,
very easily.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been. This has been an army he's been working on
Kinda
for a while.
cultivating.
Yeah. So it's nice to see this color scheme pop up every so often when he finishes something
Super
new.
cool.
Yeah, thanks, Bond. And last but not least
Is that more luminous?
is I want to say this is T Neva. Yeah, T Neva 82. Yeah, these look like Lumineth, right? I'm pretty sure because I recognize the difficulty in painting all these things.
Yeah, with all that
Oh
trim.
my god. And cool swords, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I love the bases. Yeah.
Super cool. Those are big swords. But I guess
Yeah.
if it's elven steel, it's
They'll
gonna
be
be
all right.
it's gonna be light.
Yeah. These guys have like strength and magic on their side.
Yeah. Strength, magic, and wonder.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very
awesome.
cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Man, we saw a lot of like new people submitting.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
great.
that's really what it is all about. It's like I love seeing all the regulars, but it really is like you want to see the new blood
Yeah,
kind of get
it's
in
nice.
there. Just because we're learning and growing and
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah. Should we do the candy now or should we talk about bingo first? Because we have one more thing we can
I guess we're gonna
hasten
talk about
this
bingo
with. Let's do bingo.
Yeah,
Okay, we're
let's
gonna talk
do
about
bingo.
bingo real quick and then we'll eat this horrible candy.
with a nice proper send off.
Yeah. Bingo, guys. Those of you who don't have a bingo card and shared work and we just showed it off, what the hell? Get your bingo card. Get going. It's fun, you know? Like, there's no reason not to do it. Just bug Liberty Fires. He will help you get a card.
Play bingo.
It's going to be totally random what shows up on your card. And as you have progress, just give an update in the Hobby Bingo channel and we'll show it off on stream like we're about to.
Great Scott. That's great.
When you finish a bingo, post a picture of your board and Liberty will give you a badge. And there are a few badges you can collect. 1, 6, or full. And then when you're done with your bingo board, you can like take it up a notch like some folks are doing, such as Chef. And,
That's awesome.
and yeah, you can get going there.
Dang.
So this is Soups. What we like to do during this segment, because everyone has beautiful paint jobs,
Yeah.
we like to make fun of their bingo cards. Like,
Oh, it's Chucky.
hell yeah.
Oh my
That
gosh.
one's mine. We like to.
I think
rip
Soups needed to
on-
have a few of those removed for, the unhinged content that he was putting out
I
in the
know,
chat.
right? He's busy right now checking on Rule 34 Lego. He can't do anything.
We won't disturb academic research.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to bother him.
Paint to face.
But
Oh,
actually,
that's awesome.
I think everybody's cards look fine. I don't. Feel
I
like
would be
making
terrible
fun of
at
them.
this because I could paint a face. I don't know if I could paint 1,000 points worth of something. I could paint a model with OSL. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I
You
could
could
do it.
totally do it.
I'd have to
Who
look at
cares?
it.
You should totally. You have the whole year. You have
Oh,
plenty of time.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I could do that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's really a self-motivator. It's not
Awesome.
meant to be
I love that.
competitive within the community, although feel free, guys. You guys all have your bunny
Yeah,
rabbits
yeah.
to chase.
We're all here to just have a
Yeah.
good time, but also I'm gonna win. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I get
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
I totally get that.
There's always a winner, I guess.
Are we
But
doing
right
it?
now, there's losers, and that's us.
mean, I think we might be losers. I don't know. You know what to expect. I have no idea what to expect.
I do. I did this to myself.
This may be my new favorite candy in the world. I don't know. Also,
I'll lose all my respect for you if it is, but
why does it look like a piece of charcoal?
it's a monkey fucking another monkey, obviously. I think it's supposed to be a gorilla or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, give us a.
It smells burnt.
Smells burnt. Okay.
But I broke my nose and have had reconstructive surgery, so don't trust that.
Burnt. It's funny because I don't smell the salmiak, but you'll taste it.
Salmiak?
Yeah, that's the flavor that you're about to taste.
Okay, what language is this?
Swedish, right?
Oh,
okay.
gosh. You guys make great fish.
So all this powder is the salmiak. Yeah. And it's part of the experience. So are you ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Finish. Okay. Sorry. Okay, talk about it.
I don't like this at all.
No.
What? Why? It's a name for ammonium chloride.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. This is exactly what Swedish chef's undergarments would taste like. It's like
Chef's undergarments?
Swedish Chef from the Muppets.
Like Broken Chef? Like why?
Ooh, this is like bad salty.
And then it sticks to your teeth.
Wow, bad licorice. There's like, ooh.
And I'm trying to get it out of my mouth, but I can't swallow it.
There's like a hint of shortbread cookiness to it, and then that quickly goes away.
And then it'll come back up your nose, towards the back of
Every
your
time you bite it, it changes. Wow.
Okay, I got rid of it.
I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm really
You
gonna
are not.
sit on it.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
We're almost out, which I'm really grateful for. Yeah.
It's a wonder of flavors. Fake news.
Horrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The red cup of doom. Yeah, I know, the cup that breaks all of our shit because I spilled water on everything with it.
Okay, my question is why? Why does this exist?
Polly, can you tell us?
I get it. Every culture has a different thing, but
But this one.
I'm not into making sweeping statements, but this one's
We're
wrong.
not going to be sensitive. I didn't wash my cup. I washed the lid recently.
Ugh. Where's my water
Are you going to
bottle?
spit it on the ground?
No, where's my water bottle?
Like Devin's going to spit up on our carpet.
No, down the hatch.
There is no American version of this candy. It would never exist. It's such a bizarre. It's a flavor like nobody here is used to. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It would take a while, I think, for us to.
It's not. I was gonna say it's not horrible, but that's kind of false. It tastes like dirt and salt and.
Did you taste vinyl at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that you putting words to it, like, have you ever been in a saline pool? Like
to float?
It's not chlorine. It's like a saline, like a saltwater saline pool
like
kind
a
of a
pool.
thing.
Yeah, swimming pool. Yeah.
So that's kind of what the aftertaste tastes like for me. I did a lot of competitive swimming, and I went into enough of those pools where it's like. I have a serious question as to your taste buds and why you say nice.
I know.
Sorry, Polly.
Sorry, Polly.
Yeah.
Okay. They did. We did get sent a bunch of candy that we did like. This just happens to be the one that we can't stand, and now it's our ongoing joke. Do we want to show where we got to at all, or are we good?
Yeah.
And did you want to show off your tank at all?
Oh, I can do that. You guys want to see my Golden Demon entry?
Yes, please.
Where's the focus? Okay, it's right about there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to kind of hold it like a gorilla because it's not pinned.
Like a gorilla, he says, in Congo.
So yeah, this is my small scale
It's
entry.
so good.
There we go.
What do you have left to do?
We're talking minor things. So the last couple things that I'm really needing to do with this is the back exhaust back in here.
Yeah.
I have to basically hone in and refine. I'm putting in that little stippled texture into everything. So I have to make that consistent. I have to look through... Oh, sorry, that taste just keeps cropping up in my mouth. It's like I licked a hockey puck. No, I have to just kind of go through and just make sure things are consistent. That's really the main thing. Making sure that like, okay, so right over here is consistent, but maybe right here is not, right? And
Sure.
smooth certain things out. Making sure that the focal point stays there and stuff. But yeah, he's a little baby. Little
Such a
baby.
cute
You can see
little tank, yeah.
my hands
Yeah.
for scale and stuff. This was I originally had it as I wanted to do like a big group of tanks, but you know, as with all this, the ambition starts to get the better of you, and now I had to whittle it down.
Oh, I know.
But this is the spiritual successor to my big yellow tank that I did. Most people would say I'm gonna paint in the same scale with all my lessons, and I said no, fuck that. I'm gonna make it real small and real tiny and do it even hoarder. But yeah, that's
gorgeous.
That's the idea. And then this is my favorite part, which unfortunately is slightly hidden, but
It's so cool.
tank treads.
Yeah. So you just kind of like, before you painted it, squished it in and...
So like I took milliput and green stuff and I laid them all out. I kind of feathered it out so it looks, you can kind of see it's got that raised edge and stuff. And then,
great.
before it was ever even painted, I just went like that and I just squished it down.
Yeah.
I have to couple things.
I know
to
it
fix,
is really
but-
sad that you can't see it because it's so.
But you can see it from the back.
Really nice detail, yeah.
Yeah,
it looks
there's a
good.
couple things I need to fix, but you can see it in the back.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
originally had it further forward so you can see it, but as you can see,
just sticks out,
it sticks out too much, so that's about where it's going to be.
Your tree is also getting a lot of attention, and I was gonna say I love the tree too. It's
I
so
made
cute.
it!
Okay.
Yeah!
We should have a tree class.
Trees. I love it. Yeah. Yeah,
it's very
just
cool.
just I mean literally sticks from looking like a maniac outside, picking up little sticks, and then I have a bunch of different flock that are just making stuff, and
Cool.
I'm literally that weirdo with tweezers poking things around and
Yeah.
putting things up stuff. But yeah, this is one of my golden demon pieces.
Love it.
I'm hoping I can bring home something. And not just shame and regret.
Any particular adaptation you had to do to your painting technique to paint high level on this smaller scale? That's a good question. That's another good idea for a class.
Yeah. So the adaptation is I like to paint with big beefy brushes. This is a 4. I had to paint with a 0. I never paint with
There you go.
zeros. So that was the biggest thing. And then I got magnifying glasses. I don't paint with magnifiers most of the time, but I was like, I am doing you can't see it on this camera right now, but there's tons of texture and streaks and modeling and things like that you just can't see it. So
Yeah.
I had to kind of break down and get some glasses. And
Yeah.
I feel like an old man and I'm like,
Thanks to all of us. Not me yet, of course.
no, of
But,
course not.
You guys.
Well, I got the gray for it.
You guys, we did it. We did it.
Yay.
Yeah, we talked texture.
Yeah.
And tortured Devin.
It's not torture.
Yeah. Thank
I mean,
you
that
for-
candy was bad, but
It was bad.
ugh.
And also the game kind of.
No,
But
that's
it was
fun.
fun.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming by.
Thanks for
It's always
having
good to
me.
see you.
Thanks for having
and I'm
me.
excited to get lunch. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks for making us eat that candy. It was great. Thank you. Extra special thank you to the Mandrills who give your extra support and you don't have to. We appreciate that. We will see you later. I don't have much else to add to that.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
yeah.
members night. So you check out that game tomorrow. I forget who's playing. It's like Saray and I don't know, somebody else. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and always be creating. Bye.